Kentucky 38 at Louisville 31. So, Mason, you live reacted to this game, right? Just a
Yep.
little bit ago, and that video is going to be released here in a little bit, and I encourage everybody to go check that out because that is a very unique perspective that we're offering here at First and Long College Football. We're kind of trying it out. So if you would, anybody that's watching, go check that video out, and if you like it, please give it a thumbs up and let us know that you like that and you would like more of it. You didn't watch the game live. You waited. You starved yourself of college
Yep.
football
I
for us
did. I
for
did.
us. And we all thank
A
you
man
very
of the
much
people.
because I didn't have that type of self-control, man, because I,
Yeah.
I had to watch this thing. What was your live reaction, your raw thoughts on this thing? Give us your thoughts, raw dog.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I can't take too much credit. My wife pulled me away from the TV for a little bit. So
Mm.
I had to take that opportunity to do some live reactions. It is a fun way to watch highlights, I guess, to see someone else see the game
If
for
you're
the
going to
first
watch the
time.
highlight anyway, watch it with First and Long.
That's right. Absolutely. It's still, 25, 30-minute highlight reel. So one of the good ones. But yeah, I really enjoyed the game. I think it went about how we expected, Mark. I mean, in our preview this week, we told y'all this was going to be a ball game. And not to count Kentucky out just because they've been sort of a middle of the pack SEC team this year and what everybody thought was a down year for the SEC. Um, they come through and win this ball game, and credit Devin Leary and credit this Kentucky offensive line. I think
Yeah.
that was what was most impressive to me is they allowed some pressure early, but they really gave Devin Leary the time he needed to make the downfield throws, and he connected. He really impressed me, and we told you that the team that wins this game will be the team that passes the ball the best. And that's pretty much what we saw. I think that, Jack Plummer had more total yards. When you look at it, he had 242 in comparison to Devin Leary's 206. But it felt like, Devin Leary was connecting on the bigger plays more. And there were a ton of big plays in this game. That's what made it so exciting. It was, fumbles and turnovers and touchdowns and long plays and a kick return for a touchdown. I mean, it had me glued. I was super excited in my reaction to this game, and there were some big playmakers. Ray Davis just absolutely in that second half kind of took over. Had a really lackluster first half, but the second half he was balling. Had 3 touchdowns in that second half, and really kind of won Kentucky the game in a lot of ways. So credit the offensive line for creating those holes, giving Devin Leary the time to throw. And Ray Davis just was shot out of a cannon for that second half. I'm anxious to see what Louisville does moving forward. I was really impressed again with Jawar Jordan, although it seemed like they kind of held him back a little bit in this game. I'm not sure without watching it from start to finish. You don't always get the full picture, but it seemed like he was kind of held back a little bit in this game, and they were letting the backup Guerrendo, get a lot of carries as well, who also had a really good game. But I'd like to see Jamari Thrash a little bit healthier, hopefully this week, and see them get him the ball a little bit more. You always wonder in games like this if Louisville was looking ahead a little bit. I don't think that they could afford to against Kentucky, so I don't necessarily think that that's what happened, but I kind of hope so because I'd love to see a ball game this week with Florida State, who also looked pretty good this week. We'll be getting to that game here soon, but I thought both defenses played pretty well, even though the score doesn't show it. There was a lot of pressure coming on the quarterback, for both sides in most cases at least. And look, these quarterbacks just made some plays at times, and and the running backs got really involved. Just a really good game overall, and good. I guess now we got to see what Mark Stoops is doing. I've heard some stirrings about him going to Texas A&M, but I've seen some things online today that suggest that he's going to stay at Kentucky. But another 7-win season for him in the Kentucky Wildcats, and another chance to go bowling.
Yeah, and they had lost a few games in a row, and so there was kind of a regression to the mean in the works for several weeks. I feel like with this game, but I mean, let's be real though. The Louisville Cardinals pretty much dominated the stat sheet, but the problem was special teams and turnovers. I mean, the 100-yard kickoff return was huge. It changed the entire complexity of the game because, I mean, Kentucky averaged 6.1 yards per play, which is good, and that was provided by explosive plays. But Louisville was the better team moving the ball in this game the entire time,
Hmm.
and it came down to those turnovers. And guess what? That was a common trend in the Pitt game that Louisville lost earlier this year.
Yep.
Almost the exact same stats and everything. I mean,
That's a good
everything
point.
is almost identical. So this Louisville team is one that I don't think they're going to overwhelm you with talent. I saw several people in the comment section of this game preview where we picked. I picked Louisville. Um, so we didn't necessarily pick Kentucky, but um, they were saying that Kentucky was more talented than Louisville, and I'm thinking, man, is that true? Um, but that's kind of what you get with some of these middling SEC teams at this point in the year. Go look at Kentucky's schedule. They've had a very difficult schedule to deal with this year. So several of those losses, even if Kentucky was 10% better than what they weren't going to win those games. So that record can be very, very deceiving. Whereas Louisville, they missed some really tough games in their schedule, and that's why a lot of people in the preseason were on the Louisville train because of the easy regular season schedule where you miss some big opponents. So, with that being said, Louisville is now going to be matched up with Florida State in the ACC championship game. We're going to be breaking that game down, I guess, tomorrow, right, Mason?
Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
It's
So we'll be
coming
breaking
soon.
those down live tomorrow, so you can come join us. Same channel, same spot. That's why it's important for you to subscribe. All you Louisville fans, don't go anywhere. Look, you lost a rivalry game. It's okay. It happens. It definitely happens. Did anybody think Louisville was winning a national championship this year? No. So the goals are still all the same. Still have an even better chance of beating Florida State in the ACC championship than you had 3 weeks ago, even though you lost. So don't go anywhere. The season ain't over. Louisville has got 2 more big games that they're going to be playing in this year, and I suspect that Braum will have these guys ready to play for that ACC championship. If they were looking ahead, then maybe they'll be just that much more prepared, and now they'll have that much more motivation going into Charlotte.